Hi, I'm Dedee Harper, the real estate angel, and the host of the Halo Effect Show every Friday. If you're ready to begin living your best life as a highly paid and highly favored six-figure realtor, call the Harper School of Real Estate today. When you mention you heard the ad on Pure Radio, you can enroll in our industry-leading realtor class for only $250.
$250?
Yep, just $250 to begin making all your real estate dreams come true. Become your own boss. Call today, 904-619-9488.
It's time to put some wings on your dreams. Your dream home, own it. Your dream business, own it. Your dream six figures, multiple streams of income, own it. Your dream future and legacy, own it.
It's time to glow on the Halo Effect Show with Dedee Harper, the real estate angel.
And welcome to the Halo Effect Real Estate Show with Dedee Harper, a.k.a. the Real Estate Angel, helping you put wings to your dreams. Dedee Harper is the owner of Harper & Associates Real Estate and the Harper School of Real Estate. Joining her is Marcellus Romack. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you today?
Hey, good.
Hey,
How about
happy
yourself?
Friday.
Happy
Friday
to you. I see you all AK'd up, girl.
Yes, I'm representing today.
Yes, you are. All pink and all green.
Yes, totally representing.
Can you show us a step dance afterwards? That we could put on the Instagram, on your Instagram stories.
We'll see.
All right, y'all follow Dedee on Instagram, Dedee Harper on Instagram, the Florida Real Estate Angel, right?
Yes.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah. So we have an exciting topic. Before we get into it, and just to give our listeners a heads up, this topic is going to be on the blueprint to successfully buying your first home. And before we do, I hear somebody has an exciting weekend.
Oh, yes. I'm going to a beautiful home in Trenton, Florida, to Berlani's. Berlani's is my good friend Vicky's bed and breakfast, but I don't like calling it a bed and breakfast because it's 30,000 square feet, sits on over 200 acres.
30,200 acres.
It is so beautiful.
Wow.
It is the most beautiful home that I've ever seen, and she has she actually rents it out for events and things of that nature. So weddings, all the city uses it, but it is so relaxing. Agriculture, it's just really beautiful. You got to see it. So if you're online, if you see Braloni's, BRALONNI, bed and breakfast, you can see some pictures there. But I can't wait to relax and spend time with my sister.
And it sounds like a girl's trip.
Yes, it is a girl's trip. We're going to actually go see Harriet and just do some catching up and, just bond, a sisterhood.
You know what?
It's about.
Sitting on 200 acres. Half of the 400 that we were owed, I think y'all rightfully so should go out and check out Harriet. So
yeah,
good stuff. Well, you've been working hard, so you deserve to relax, and that's part of entrepreneurship too. You work hard, you play hard, relax.
You definitely gotta have a balance. If you don't have a balance, it's just gonna be very hard. If you're not good to yourself and just treat yourself to do some things for yourself, then it's gonna be very hard to be good to your customers and other people.
Okay. Well, this is an exciting episode. Dedee, you are the real estate angel. You have Harper & Associates Real Estate Company. And we are going to talk to the people of Jacksonville and enlighten them on the blueprint, step by step, what you can do to successfully purchase your first home. So,
okay, it's such an exciting topic. Just to go back to, remember we spoke about our ownership. Black ownership in homes are less than it was 50 years ago. So owning a home and building your wealth is so important. So I definitely want to, I was excited for this topic all week.
Yeah, it is. And shout out to Cynthia. She just came in the room.
Hey,
and she's
Cynthia. Thanks for having me. Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, and she's
getting all ready. She
yeah.
have asked for the mic. What are you gonna say, Cynthia?
We'll have you do some opinions and some shout outs. You have a company. Let them know what company you have really quick.
I a spa company. It's called Mrs. Black Ink. I do microblading, I do facials, body sculpting, waxing, and I travel. I love home services.
And yeah, you do the facials and you also do what they call the glam look. Marcellus, you seen her when she came to the office. She actually comes to the office, and I have had a facial twice. And I'm the type that really don't get much done. If you just put me eyeliner on and lip gloss, I'm good. But that facial was so good, the massaging of your face and everything. It just makes the skin pop. So I have went back again twice. So I hate getting addicted to anything. But that's why I won't wear lashes. I never wore the lashes. Just the one time you put them on, and then it just didn't. Yeah, I can't get addicted, but that facial is addictive.
That means a lot coming from you, Miss Harper. I appreciate that.
Cool. Cindy, let them know your Instagram.
My
how they can follow
Instagram
you.
is mrs.mrs.blackink. You can find me on Instagram at Mrs. Black Ink and on Facebook also at Mrs. Black Ink.
Okay, Mrs. Black Ink it is. So we're talking about the blueprint to successfully buying your first home, Dedee. So tell me this. What is normally the reactions between a man, a husband and a wife? What's the vibe that they have? Are the wives normally more emotional and the guys a little more looking at the numbers, or is it normally an experience that they're both, super happy and emotional about? Or what's the general sentiment you get, and if there's any difference between the fellas and the ladies and husbands and wives?
Well, what I notice mostly when they come to the office, the wife is the decision maker. The wife, you want the kitchen and the bathroom correct, the square footage. But most times, the wife are the emotional ones. The husbands are more calm. They just about the numbers, the amount of the home. But the wives I have probably never seen 15 years. I would say the majority of the time, the wife is the decision maker through the process. I may see the husband once or twice, but I see him in closing.
Yeah.
He'll walk through one time through the home, but it's whatever the wife wants. And that's a good way to be, a happy wife. That is a happy home.
Absolutely. Why is buying and owning a home promoted as the American dream?
Well, owning a home is still an American dream and has continuously been, even when the interest rate was 18%. Back in 1981, the interest rate was 18%, close to 19% to purchase a home. And there was still purchasing power.
Was that a part of Reaganomics? Like what was going on during that time?
Well, yes, we did have what we call the Depression. We had certain things going on, but it was nothing like even our recent housing crisis. The interest rate was still probably in the 6%, and now it's close to the 5. Anywhere between 4 and 5% is where your interest rate would be. We will talk about the interest rate more, but home ownership, it provides the stability and security and wealth building opportunities. It builds your home equity, and it will gain you long-term savings over the cost of renting. So versus renting, you would have a long-term savings plan if you purchase a home. Home ownership also allows you the ability to deduct your mortgage interest rate, which is pretty good on your federal tax returns. You can deduct your property taxes, and you can also deduct the mortgage interest rates, which is a savings, especially if you don't have the children at home any longer and you need some type of tax benefit. Deduction on your interest rate and also on your property taxes is a great benefit. And it's a continual capital resource, so you can go back and dip into it to send your child off to college or to add on to your home. It's a savings account, basically. So you can take advantage of your equity loans that you could use on your home. Or if you're opening up a business and you may need some cash reserves, you can go dip into your home and take the equity that's in your home to start your business. So it has a lot of great advantages. Now, sometimes we can't say the home ownership is for everyone, because you also see that as you get older, older people may want to move into some type of community, but just think of the equity that they have in their home that they can take out and sell the home and move into a community, what we call the senior citizen. Well, they don't call it that any longer. Assisted living, a 55 and older community or something of that nature. So you are allowed these benefits versus renting, depending. If you're moving out of town, if you know you're going to move, then maybe it may not be for you. But if you think about residual income investment, where you can rent out your home. I know Sadea just did Airbnb with your property, right? So just think of money making opportunities that you might have with owning a home. So it's endless. I go for it because I sell homes, and plus I'm a homeowner since I think my mom gave me a home when I was recent out of college, and we sold it. I have always been a homeowner, so I'm an advocate for home ownership.
That's awesome. Transferring that wealth. That is good stuff.
It is a centerpiece and a predominant part of the household wealth for most households. It will be your most valuable asset.
Yeah, when it comes to net worth. And I'm a numbers guy, so
yes, you are.
with renting, and you hear a statement that, whether you own your home or you rent, you're still paying, you're buying a home. You're paying for somebody. And, even the numbers, let's say if one's rent is $1,000 a month and they're paying that, every year, that's $12,000. In 10 years, that's $120,000. Exactly. In 20 years, that's somebody just getting out of college, maybe. So from 25 to 45, if they choose to rent and stay in a nice, townhome or so, over 20 years, that'll be almost $250,000 that they're putting towards, somebody's mortgage, so why not own that? That is
towards your own. Yes.
Yeah. So before one explores buying a home, of course, through Harper Associates Real Estate, what things should we make sure to have in place?
So what are the signs that shows that you are ready to buy a home? Is what you're asking. Beyond the external factors such as the low interest rates, like today, the interest rates are as low as 4%. You can get it lower if you pay points between 4 and 5%, depending on the individual and the competitive housing prices. Because right now you can also purchase a decent home, a nice home at a low price. You want to look at the fact, if you're ready, have you been on your job at least 2 years or in the same line of work? Can you show your income, your W-2s, or if you're self-employed, have you been placing money into your account to show how much you are making? It's very different with self-employed versus W-2. Your credit score, you should have at least, we can go down to 580, but the preferred credit score is 620. Well, you can have a 620, but the preferred credit score is middle score is 640.
And what's the difference if one has a 580 versus that 620? How much more interest are they normally paying?
It's going to depend because it's different layers. And I was going to address that because we see on TV interest rates as low as 3.75. That's buying points for one, and interest rate depends on the individual. You may come in with certain layers of risk that the next person do not have, so your interest rate is going to be more. So the higher the risk, the higher your interest rate. The more risk you have, if you haven't been on your job 2 years, or you may have a collection on your credit report, the lenders don't know how you would pay, so they only have your credit report to look at and your history. So if your history don't look as well, if you've been jumping jobs, no security, no down payment, and things of that nature, your interest rate may be a little bit more. Okay. So it depends. It's hard to say, okay, your interest rate is going to be % higher. It's based on the individual.
In general, is it better to have better credit and make significantly less, or would it be better to make significantly more with somewhat non-ideal credit?
Well, even if you make more and your credit score does not meet the criteria, you either will be denied or you would have to put down more of a down payment because you're higher risk, of course. So the lending would be different. So you want to just come in secure, even if you have a 620 or a 640 middle score. and then you've been on your job 2 years, and your debt to income. So that means your debt versus what you're making, your debt is not high. They prefer at least a 38% debt to income ratio.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're at 50%, then that's not more than likely you won't be approved, but that's okay. So what we try to do is put you on a path to home ownership.
Mm-hmm.
So it's best to get approved for a loan before you go looking, because you may think my income is good. I've been on my job 2 years. I at least have this 640 credit score, but you're not looking at your middle score, because we look at the middle. So you just can't look at Experian and say that's my score. And scores changed and they're different. And then what you see is your soft score. There's a such thing as a soft score and a hard score.
Mm-hmm.
The hard score is only what a mortgage broker would see, or the bank. So what you see on Credit Karma, when you go look at it online, that's a soft score. That would not be the same score that you would see once we pull it for a mortgage.
Does that soft score tend to be lower or higher than the hard score?
It tends to be lower, because of course you want it to. It tends to be a little higher. I'm sorry, because they want the economic. They want you to go out and have buying power. So they want you to get the Walmart card. They want you to be able to get the car. So those things, the score tends to be a little higher sometimes, because different variables are not looked at the same as when you pull it for a mortgage. So you have to get approved for a loan before you even start looking for a home. You want to be approved.
Mm-hmm. Jacksonville, I hope you all are appreciating this free game we're getting from Dedee Harper, the real estate angel. And I'll just mention, when you mentioned that debt to income ratio, you said it ideally should be 38%. So if someone were to make $100,000, then that would mean $38,000 in debt would be the max, to get a good rate. And if they made, let's say, $50,000, then that would be $19,000 in debt. So gives people kind of a gauge, for anyone who's making $50,000 or so, then that would be 19 grand. And so
and
that's
debt is just what is on your credit report. It's your revolving and your installment loans. It's not including your insurance that you pay, your light bill, and things of that nature. It includes what is shown on your credit report.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, a lender knows that once you purchase a home, the reason there is a ratio and a criteria, because they're not going to lend you the amount that you make, because things happen. Your water heater may break, or your AC may break. You have to have a cushion there. So there's only a certain percentage that they will lend you based on your income.
Right. Okay.
And they will deduct whatever's on that credit report will be deducted first. So we'll get into some of the things that's done that you should not do prior to getting your mortgage, such as going out to get your car first, because now you have less income, because the car note will be deducted, and whatever is left, that's what you would be approved for a loan. So purchasing cars and things like that, you should get after you get your home.
Right.
So get your assets first, but we'll get more into that.
Okay. Is there an ideal percentage of one's monthly income that they should kind of be able to allocate towards their rent? For example, if someone makes $1,000 a month and then they have a mortgage of $1,000, that wouldn't look good, right?
It would not be approved,
right?
Because it's not the 38%. So if you make 1,000, 38%, and usually a good number to start out with, if you make at least $1,200, you can be approved for a loan. Mm-hmm. However, you won't be approved for a $200,000 home, because again, it's based on what you can afford. Mm-hmm. But you can be approved for a home, maybe a $30,000 or $40,000 home, where your payments could be through $400 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Including your taxes or insurance. So it's still, just because you make a lower amount, that don't mean that you can't be approved for a home.
Okay. Walk us through the entire process to buying a home and the best ways to go about each step. So someone's listening, they're saying, you know what? I am going to explore buying me a home in 2020. That's their goal. That's the top of their New Year's resolutions. They're starting early. Let's take them from that first step to the final, when they shake hands with Dedee Harper, and they can have that beautiful home.
Okay, so I'm going to simplify it because buying a home, and I always talk to my clients and let them know, let me carry the stress. So I don't, want to get too deep, because at that point, they are stressed out, because the lender will call you for so much information. So it's 45 days. It takes approximately 30 to 45 days to close on a home from the time you sign that contract. So the first step is, please do not look for a home until you are approved by a mortgage broker first. And be careful of the type of approval, because you may get a pre-qualification and they have not looked at your tax returns or your income documentations. So when you purchase a home, there's several things that they will ask for. Your driver's license, of course, your social security card, your last 2 pay stubs, your last 2 tax returns, and your last 2 W-2s to be attached to those tax returns. And they also want a bank statement to show your savings, to see how much you have saved and what type of collateral you have. And if you don't have a savings, you can also use your 401k statements and things of that nature.
And they monitor all of that throughout the buying process. So you can't start that process and then start swiping that card at the town center.
Yes, that's it.
Or the flea market.
Because that score would change. So once we pull that score, we tell you, don't touch your credit, don't do anything, because that's the score we're using. So if you go back and you try to, and you can start purchasing, you can change your score. And now your debt to income is higher, and that could affect your approval process. So once you're serious, so the first thing you want to do is be serious about buying a home. Once you're serious, you don't want to touch your credit. You get approved. You bring in the proper documentation, and your broker should approve you. Or if you're at the bank, you get your pre-qualification letter or your pre-approval letter. And that's what you would take to the realtor to say, I'm approved for this amount. That amount is based on you and your income. A lot of people, say what their friend was approved for or what their friend interest rate was. This is an individual process. It's all based on you. So your interest rate may be a little different than the next person, or your approval rate may be different than the next person. So once you contact your realtor and you're ready to buy that home, you got your approval in hand, you give that to your realtor. Your realtor is going to look for the home based on the amenities that you want, the location that you want. You try to determine what's important to you. Is a 3-car garage important to you, a 2-car garage, or the garage may not be important? You may want a jacuzzi. You may want to be in a good school area.
You got some houses with some jacuzzis in them?
Of course.
Okay. Swim pool in the back?
Yeah, swimming. You may want a swimming pool. Then I have a lot of clients to state that they don't want a swimming pool. They just, if they see a swimming pool, nope, don't want anything to do with it. The swimming pool really don't add that much value to your home once you get it. You may spend $30,000 to put a swimming pool in. It may add about $5,000 worth of value to the home, but that's another story.
Cynthia, what was an ask that you wanted in your home?
I want a backyard kitchen.
Backyard kitchen, so not just the
that's
grill.
No.
What she wanted.
Please enlighten me. I have not.
Ruben McCullen. Remember, Ruben McCullen had
She
the
had
kitchens,
2 kitchens.
2 kitchens.
Yes,
Yeah,
she
and
did.
that is
Okay.
very popular now with the kitchens, the backyard kitchen. I'm not going to move to get it. I'm going to add it on to my home. I'm going to stay right where I am. But yeah,
Can you
that's
cook,
very
Cynthia?
popular.
I could definitely cook, and
Okay,
that
so you
will
can
be
throw that
used
out?
for those big family events.
Cookout?
They don't have to take their shoes off. They can just go in the backyard.
Okay. All right. I like that. I
Yeah.
like
So
that.
your location is definitely important, and amenities. So if we would look, so once a realtor, if Cynthia said, hey, I want a kitchen, I should not be looking for anything except what she wants. So once we find, and Cynthia says, okay, we're here, we execute the contracts, both seller and buyer. You may play ball for a minute. You may go back and forth with your numbers.
A little volley.
Yeah.
A little Serena Williams
Yeah,
action.
go back
Okay.
and forth. They want a seller's concession. The seller says, no, I had one to go back and forth like 5 times this week. But you may go back and forth, but that's okay. That's part of the process. Do not get frustrated because you're going back and forth, because that's negotiation. Now, you go through the process. You want to get a home inspection. The out-of-pocket expenses normally includes your appraisal and your inspection fee.
Okay.
Before you go to closing, you're going to pay out of pocket for an appraisal and inspection. Appraisal is normally around $450. Inspection fee is about $350. The inspection is for you. You're the only one who have to see that, because that shows if you're satisfied with purchasing the home. The lender doesn't want to see the inspection report. The lender wants to see the appraisal. to see whatever they're giving you $100,000. Is this house worth $100,000? They want to see the value of the home. The inspection. Some of my clients say I don't want inspection. They in love with the home. Now, what I would say would be for me when I first bought my one and only my home that I live in. I'm not going to say I lost $1,200, but I went through $1,200 that I could not get back because I went through about 3 homes until I found the home that I wanted. So I paid for an appraisal. Then I decided I didn't want it. The next home I paid for the appraisal and the inspection. And once I got that back, I decided I did not want it. So the third home I looked at, this was before I got into real estate, way back in my Merrill Lynch days. I knew that I did not want to go in. I seen it was a jacuzzi in one of the homes, and I was so excited to see that, and I was not looking at detail. So I always say, do not put a contract on a home just by first looks, because you first go in and you are over certain things that's you can get in any home. But I like to knock on the walls to see how sturdy the walls are. I like to see if that tile, if the tile grout is in a straight line. I look for so much detail until I didn't do that on my first home, the first contract. But it was really some things going on with that home that I did not pay attention to because I was looking at external things that, like a jacuzzi and things like that because I was younger. So when I seen the inspection report, I was like, no, I don't want that problem. So I always say, look at detail when you go to in a home. Don't just look at the space, look at the layout, but also look at the doors, look at the construction, look at the quality of the home and the location and things of that nature when you're looking for a home. And it takes about 30 to 45 days. The lender's going to come back and forth and ask you for paperwork, ask you for everything. And it is a process. Do not get stressed out about that. It's only one time you have to do it. And they have to do it for everyone. They're not discriminating because these loans are actually sold on the back end to secondary marketing. So they have to ensure that there's no discrimination. They did not lend to you and did not lend to someone else. So they have to make sure it's even playing grounds. So if they come back and ask you for different paperwork, understand that that's necessary and it's normal. They're not just being, just doing that to you. So that's the process. That's the process for everybody. So usually let your broker handle that too. Don't get too involved and get stressed out about it, because you don't do it every day and they know what to ask for and they know what you need.
Okay.
I mean, I could go on and talk about this because you're on
this
my
is your
playground.
wheelhouse. Yeah, we are.
I have
we're
a
all
couple
the
of
way.
questions on
What time? How much time?
if we have time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have. You know what? Let me ask. Go ahead, Cindy. You got a question?
Yeah, I just have a couple of questions. You were talking about the tax deductions. I wanted to ask, so when you have a mortgage and you have those, you don't have kids, like you were saying, you could get a bigger refund from having
Not necessarily.
those deductions?
Well, it is a deduction. So your income, you can use it as a deduction. Now, I'm not a tax advisor, so let me put that stipulation in. But it's a write-off. So it's a write-off for me. So that does help you with even the write-off for me. I don't get a bigger refund. I just have to pay less.
Okay,
I
understand. Okay,
But
I understand.
if you are getting something back, then yeah, that will help you with what you would get.
Do you
back.
have any kids, Cynthia?
Yes, I have
Okay.
two. I have two boys, 16 and 13.
All right. That's what's up.
Okay, I have one more question. Okay, so when you get the loan from the lender and you mentioned that they want to know, is this home worth $100,000? If they're giving you $100,000, if the home isn't worth $100,000, do they still give you that? No.
That deal.
Okay.
It's just like if you're walking down the street and I come and I say, Cynthia, let me borrow $100,000. First of all, you're gonna, and you don't know me, you're gonna want to know everything about me, even if you consider. So that's what a lender gonna want to know everything. How do you pay your debt? How long you been on your job? Certain things they're gonna want to know. No, if you tell me you're gonna go get this car and it's worth $20,000, but you want me to give you $40,000 and let that be the collateral, the lender is going to say no. They're not going to lend you more than the home is worth. Okay. And that's why they send out their appraisal, because they want to know how much this property is valued for. Okay. And if it's not worth it, they're not going to give it to you. That's a dead deal.
Okay.
So let me ask real quick. We're coming close to the close of the show, but Are there any pros and cons to today's market? There's a strong advantage and maybe even a disadvantage. I know it's a seller's market, but if that is the case, what's the pro and con to today's market? And is there an area in Jacksonville that's really popping that, potential home buyers should really, gravitate towards for a good deal?
The only con is that if you purchase a home and you're not ready, and maybe you're moving or something, or you purchase a home that's too much, or you purchased a home and you did not get the property check because you paid cash and you don't really own the home. The interest rates are low, and like I said, you have competitive housing prices. They are building all over Jacksonville. If you're looking for new construction, you can just look around and you will see that we're booming again. You have new construction. For me, that's a personal decision, because you may want to live on the north side, south side, east side. It doesn't, they're building all over. So there's not a particular location. It depends on where you want to live. If wherever you want to live, I'm sure Jacksonville, we have a home for you in that area.
And we have an angel for all of us as well.
Yes, you do.
And Dedee, you've shared so much great knowledge, and I just want everybody who's listening to know that you are, a phenomenal resource. So just like we should all have a minister that we can go to, for prayer, we should have a banker, we should have a realtor as well, who feels like a friend and feels like a sister, feels like, someone right in our families, and that's what you provide, So for all those who want to contact you, like ASAP, when they as soon as the show ends, there's some people who want to reach out to you. Let them know how they can to kind of start that process. You all can ask any questions. You all can explore, any of these opportunities. And you take baby steps with us as well, right?
Yes. I really don't like my clients to actually get consumed and get stressed out. Let me deal with the stress and let me just find the home and find the loan for you as well.
Okay. Give them that number.
It is 904-619-9488, 904-619-9488. And also we have 5 spots left for our real estate class to start in December 3rd. So give me a call if you're interested in the real estate classes so you can become a realtor. We are licensed, we are accredited, we are approved lenders. Now I'm on real estate. I'm sorry. We have approved real estate school that can show you how to become a realtor to get you prepared, pass your final, take your state exam. Come work for Harper & Associates Real Estate.
You want to be under the tutelage, the real estate angel, for sure. Just so much enlightenment. And anyone who's thinking about, becoming a realtor, I can't think of a better realtor, to learn and master the game of real estate up under. So make sure you call her at that number as well, and visit harperrealestate.org and your school website as well.
harperhomes.org. You want to visit harperhomes.org. Okay. And you want to visit harperschoolofrealestate.com for the school information. What else? I did mention that we have 5 spots left. If you mentioned that you heard it over the radio, it's $250. So you get a $50 discount.
$250?
$250.
That's what it is.
I so enjoyed this show. Now we're going to come back again the next show. We're going to continue this for the next 2 shows.
Okay, part 2 next Friday.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Dedee Harper, the real estate angel, and the host of the Halo Effect Show every Friday. If you're ready to begin living your best life as a highly paid and highly favored 6-figure realtor, call the Harper School of Real Estate today. When you mention you heard the ad on Pure Radio, you can enroll in our industry-leading realtor class for only $250.
$250?
Yep, just $250 to begin making all your real estate dreams come true. Become your own boss. Call today, 904-619-9488.